What is going on, guys? We are sharpening knives today. Little knives, big knives. All right, I was doing some work the other day with my cold steel. I was just chopping some limbs off the side of the driveway and cleaning the fence line a little bit. But I already sharpened it, and as I was sharpening it, I thought, well, I'll take everything out to the garage, and I'll tell you guys about what I use to sharpen my knives with. I know you guys have probably saw a lot of this stuff on YouTube, but I brought everything out here so I could show you guys. All right, this stays in my kit. This stays in my backpack all the time. My little woods backpack. It is the Work Sharp pocket knife sharpener. It has about the same grit on this side as what the field sharpener does on the smoother side. So those are both about the same. And then it has your it does not have a strop on it, but it does have your ceramic rod there though. And it also has got an angle. You know, you hold your knife on that certain angle to pull your burr off, and then it's got your angles here, you know, to hold your knife at. But yeah, this one's just handy. It's lightweight, doesn't weigh anything. But and for a knife that's, you know, 6 inches, anything 6 inches and under, you know, works pretty good. You can just set it on there like that and go with it. You know, it's you don't feel as though you're running out of rock before you get to the end, right? This one here, the field sharpener, they're 35 bucks now, I think, on Amazon. They are worth every penny. There's a million videos out there on this Work Sharp field sharpener. Well, I don't know if there's a million, but there's a lot of videos out there on this thing. And I concur. This thing is awesome. This is a awesome small, you can put it in a pack. I mean, it's got a strap on that side, leather strap on that side. It has 3 different types of ceramic on it here. It has a small ceramic right here, and then you have your larger ceramic here, and it has your guides on it. So see, these are 20 degrees for your steel. All right, you got a smooth steel and a rough steel. So you're going to start with your rough steel, right, or your rough grit, whatever I'm trying to say here. And it's 20 degrees, so you're going to start with your rough side. Then you're going to come over here 20 degrees on this side. And then this is a little less, so therefore the angle on this is less than 20 degrees. So therefore it will actually help pull that burr off. Whenever you're sharpening, what you want to do is form a burr on the edge of your knife. You know, you want to be able to run your hand across that and feel that burr. You know, you're going to be going like this. You know, pushing kind of against it, keeping the same angle. And then once you get done, after so many passes, you should be able to feel a burr start to rise. Whenever you feel the burr, you flip it over and you go the other way, right? On the other side. Then once you get that burr on there, then you start working on the smooth side to smooth out your edge. Okay? You're still probably going to have a little bit of a burr even after working the smooth side. So then you're going to go to your ceramic, which is on a different angle, and it'll be a little steeper angle, so therefore it will pull that burr off of your blade. It has got a coarse side, and then you can turn this to the around. It's just got a little knob here that you can turn. If you look at that, you can see it. You turn that knob, and then it's on its smooth side. And it also has got a fish hook sharpener. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there are 2 grooves that runs down that side. When you have it set on the J, well, actually it looks like a fish hook's what it looks like on there, but you can sharpen your fish hooks on those, on that side. So you have fish hook sharpener, you've got your coarse and your fine. All right. Then you have your strop. It even comes, pretty sure it even came with some compound on it. I can't remember if it did or not, but I think it did. It's got a lanyard hole here. You can tell this thing's been used quite a bit. I mean, it's dirty, it's filthy. Heck, I'm dirty and filthy. I've been working out on the farm all day, and then I came came in the house, put a quick edge on this knife after using it yesterday. And I thought, man, I'm just going to go ahead and make a video on this. So this is the exact system that I use on anything 6 inches and under, right? That's the way I use it as it's intended is what I'm getting at. And then once I'm done with that, even this, I will use it as intended, okay? So then after I get done using this, I just use this little pocket knife sharpener in the field when I have to, all right? So it doesn't get used a whole lot. When I'm actually wanting to sharpen a knife, I grab this and I go through the entire system on this, okay? Starting with the grit, going to a little smoother, going to the more coarse, and then the less coarse on the ceramic rod, and then ending with the strop. Then I go a little further, okay? Beavercraft makes these double-sided strops, all right? And you can get them with compound, without compound, that you rub on the leather, okay? So I bought 2 of these. I have 2 of these strops because I have 3 different grits of compound that you can rub on here, right? I think I have white, green, and red. And I'm pretty sure the white is the most harsh of the grits. And then it's a little smooth. Then I think the green's a little smoother. And then the red is the smoothest. And then, so I have them marked here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you look right there, you can see I have numbers on these to keep them separate. Even have the boxes marked 1 and 2, okay? So I'm going to grab the first one out, and that is the number 1. I'm going to flip it to the number 1 side, so therefore I know that I'm stropping on the we'll take out the War Evo. I know that I'm stropping on the roughest side. All right, I used this knife the other day, and it's still in pretty good shape. It's D2 steel. It's hard steel, so I don't know if a strop will even do any good on this thing, but we're going to rub it anyway. All right, and with the field sharpener, you're going to be going against it, right, until you get to your strop. And then a strop, you run it backwards, right? So what I do, I just come in here, and these strops are long enough that you can strop about any size of blade you really want to. You know, this is an 8-inch long blade, and I'm not having any trouble at all feeling as though I am getting something done with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I feel like I'm running out of real estate before I get to the end of the knife. All right. So we're going to give that a few licks, turn it over, give this side a few licks. I am left-handed, so therefore I do not work a knife near as well with my right hand. But this is the way I do it. And what I normally do is always give the right side 2 more strokes than what I do the left side whenever I'm stropping the knife, because I know that I'm not going to be able to hold this knife as perfect as I can with my left hand whenever I'm stropping, pulling backwards like this. So I always end up giving this a little bit more, just a little bit more attention on the right side every time. All right, I don't know how many that was. We'll go to the number 2 side. Some of this compound's starting to wear off. All right, speaking of compound, whenever that compound starts to get hard, starts to wear off or whatever, you can take the edge of a razor knife, hold your razor knife just like I'm holding this knife, and you're going to scratch that, and you can scratch every bit of that off. Every bit of that compound will come off, just scratching it back and forth, hold it straight up and down, scratch back and forth, and that's going to shave all your compound off, and it will completely strip your compound off your leather. Then you can put more compound on it and start over. That's about what needs to happen to this one right now. But we'll go ahead and give her a few licks here. This knife is relatively sharp. It's nothing to really brag about. It didn't come from the factory real sharp. And like I said, it's D2 steel, so I don't know how much stropping it would take to even clean this up really, really nice and pretty, because D2 steel, as far as I know, is very hard. So, all right, we just gave it a few on that one. All right, now we're to the number 3, which is supposed to be the less aggressive, I think. I don't know, I may have screwed it up when I put them all, whenever I reapplied all the compound, but anyway, we're going with it. So you're just going to pull backwards and just kind of go with it here. I already did all of this with this knife earlier, and that's what made me think of the video. So I went through the whole process with this knife. Went through the whole process, and then I done my stropping process. And when I done the strop this time, I done 10 times on the one side, 10 times on the other side, and I done that on all 4 sides of my strop. Okay, so we'll go ahead and finish touching this one up just a little bit. It probably ain't gonna do this much good, but we're just going with it here. All right, so I have 3 compounds here, 3 compounds, 4 sides. So I'm gonna end with that. I've never put any compound on this side at all. It's just leather. It's just a leather strop. That's all it is. You just kind of finish it off with that. That is your final stage, all right? So that's what we're doing. You want to put light to moderate pressure on your knife blade as you're pulling it through, you know? Light to moderate pressure. Let's see what this will do. I have no idea if that done anything. This thing, I don't even really know how sharp this thing is. It ain't too bad. It's not too bad. I did use this thing the other day, so it's not bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right. Yeah, I just sharpened this one a while ago. Yeah, that's sharp. That is screaming sharp. The old cold steel SRK and the SK5 steel is my go-to farm knife. And yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome. You can't go wrong with one of those. $40, probably the best $40 you'll spend. I'm just saying. I love it. And you probably saw it. I got it put together with my Leatherman Super Tool 300. Nothing I can't usually take care of on the farm without those 2 tools when they're on my side. All right. Now, my machete. All right, you start to get into bigger tools, you know. How are you going to sharpen them if you don't have anything big, right? Well, this is a machete. I'm not going to worry about a strop. All right, we're just going to forget strops. Who cares about a strop? You're going to be whacking stuff with this. You're going to be hitting the ground with it. You're going to be, I mean, hard as hell on this thing. So there's no need in making it perfect, right? There just is not. So let's see. Let's see what we got. Let me get a piece of paper. Let's just see what we got. I already kind of touched this one side a little bit, just a little bit, but we'll see what it'll do. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. So what we're going to do is, now this is the way I sharpen a big knife, is to hold this, put the knife on the edge of a table, all right? Knife on the edge of the table, and I go away from the blade, away from the edge, and I can pull that knife closer to me when I get out toward the tip. And I do this same thing. If I'm out in the field, I always have an 8 or 10-inch bastard file with me. And this is the way I sharpen this thing whenever I'm out on the farm. Whenever it's dull, I'll just set it on the side of the gator like this and just go with it. And who cares if it's perfect, because all you're doing is whacking shit down with it, right? So it ain't got to be perfect. Now, when I flip it over to the other side, that's where it gets a little more dangerous. Because if I'm not careful, I'll run my knuckles into the blade, you know? I know there was a raised edge. Yeah, I definitely am forming a burr already, because I'm using the rough side of this, you know? So, like I said, when it comes to a machete, it ain't got to be perfect, guys. It don't even have to be hair popping sharp. It don't have to be paper cutting sharp to still, you know, whack twigs and clean your fence row out. You know, work on bushes in your yard or whatever. It ain't got to be perfect. The swing and the momentum is what does most of the cutting whenever you're, you know, when you're chopping. It's the swing and the momentum. I mean, this right here, what I've done so far right now, I'm happy with, you know. All right, there is a little bit of a raised burr going on. I can feel it. There's a little bit of a burr. Hear my fingers catching it? So I do have a burr. Now I'm going to go to the smoother side, all right? Still setting it against the table. I'm just going to go with it. Try to hold it on the right angle. You know, it ain't got to be perfect. It ain't got to be pretty. It really don't. If I was worried about this thing being pretty, I wouldn't have bought this thing because it is not pretty. This is one of the ugliest tools I have, but it is a great tool. I love this little tool. It stays on my side by side all the time. Anyway, all right, now let's see if some of that burr's gone. Oh, still there. Some of the burr's still there. Now, when I'm out in the field and I'm sharpening this with that 8-inch mill bastard file, it's going to pull a burr up, right? And when it pulls that burr up, if that's all I have is that 8-inch mill bastard, I'm not going to get rid of that burr. So how I try to get rid of the burr, right here, I got the edge of this wooden table here. Just go against the grain, gently, like right now, I'm just gently pulling that through the edge of this table. So you can do this on a side of on the bark on the side of a tree, on a dead log, lay it on the ground. Just kind of run that through there, right? Run that cross grain of some wood, all right? And what that does, that'll actually kind of wear your burr down a little bit, right? Still got a burr though. So what we're gonna do, let's see. Let's use the coarse side of this field sharpener on the ceramic. We will try to get rid of that burr. All right. This thing still got some nicks and stuff in it. I mean, I've hit rocks. I've hit everything with this thing. You name it. And I have crashed it into it with this thing. This thing has had a very hard life. I really don't care what I hit with it. Oops. There we go. Really don't care what I hit with it, what I do to it. As long as it stays together long enough for me to finish chopping whatever I want to chop, you know. It's still got a burr. This is just shit steel for one thing Gerber uses. See if I can't wear that burr off again. Alright. Still kind of burred up. Cannot seem to get that burr off there. There we go. Oop, still a little burr there. Still a little burry. All right, I'm going to run this through the edge of the table again. I can actually see a little bit of steel in that little cut that I put on that wood. I can actually see a little bit of steel in there. So that wood is helping to pull that burr off. There we go. It's better. All right, I'm not saying this thing's going to be sharp by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll see what it'll do. Got pretty sharp. A lot sharper than it was. Let's see about the end. It's better than it was. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I mean, if that thing won't cut a little tree limb, you know, nothing will. I guess, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You can kind of see the little edge I might have put on it there. There's a little edge there. You know, I'm not the best at this. I just whack at it and pray for the best most of the time, try to make it serviceable. That's all I care about, especially on a knife like this, something you're just whacking shit with anyway. But if you go through, if you have a couple of strops with different compounds on them, and you go through this little work sharpener, then you go through every stage of this, and you do it properly, I have found, well, I have found that as long as I do it properly, it does work. But yeah, it is an awesome tool. Every video that I saw people brag on that thing, they were right. I mean, this is an awesome little tool for $35 or $38. I don't remember how much it is now on Amazon, but that little tool right there is, I think it's raining. It's raining outside. But this little tool is awesome. It is awesome. This one, yeah, great to throw in a pack. Awesome. Awesome little tool. Awesome little tool just to have in your pack because it don't weigh anything. It's got lanyard holes in it, you know, just like the field sharpener does. It's got a lanyard hole in it too. But yeah, they're awesome. They are awesome little tools. And these Beavercraft, I don't know, I haven't found anything wrong with these either. Little Beavercraft strops. So that's the way I do it. Whenever I'm, you know, really wanting to sharpen a knife, I go through this. And now, if there's no nicks and no burrs, like this knife right here, okay? This knife right here, as far as I know, I used it the other day, but it doesn't have any real nicks or burrs in it. But man, it's still a piece of shit. I don't know. Anyway, if it's a pretty good knife and it don't have any nicks in it, you know, if I haven't nicked the edge at all anywhere and it's still sharp, all I do is strop. That's normally all I do is strop. And I will strop a knife about every other time I've used it. So this is the one I use all the time, right? If I use it 2 days in a row whacking some shit down, you know, out on the farm or out in the edge of the yard or cleaning a fence row, if I've used this knife at all, after the second time I've used this blade and actually cut, you know, quite a bit of stuff with it, then after I've used it 2 times, then I'll strop it just to keep the edge nice, you know, just to keep that edge. Man, that dude is so sharp. That thing's so sharp. That's what I like. You know, a lot of people likes these harder steels that are, you know, that don't dull as fast, but after it dulls, you're there a long time. If you know, unless you've got, you know, a sander and a grinder and all the stuff that you have to. If all you have is this stuff, just stick with these milder steels. Because if all you have to sharpen stuff with is stuff like I'm showing you here, don't get a super steel. I don't, because once you get that super steel dull, you're going to be there hours trying to get it sharp again, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I would think you'd be there a long time with any type of super steel, you know. So these more milder carbon steels, like this system right here and an Essie knife, and they're $10.95. I can make an Essie knife with just what you see here, not this, just this and these 2 strops. I can make any of my Essies literally pop hair off your body. I mean, sharp, screaming sharp. And sure, it might not stay as sharp as long as a super steel, but whenever it dulls, it don't take me, you know, 10 to 15 minutes tops. I'm sharp again and I'm ready to cut shit, you know? So I don't know. I'm in the camp of a steel that you can sharpen. I don't like steels that I can't sharpen. It's not that I like to sharpen knives. It's just that when it's dull, I want to be able to put an edge back on it, and I don't want to have to sit there for 2 days to get it sharp again, you know? And for one thing, I'm not that good at it, you know? I mean, I've been sharpening knives all my life, but I don't know, I'm just average, you know? So that's what we got. That's what I was wanting to show you guys today. Talk about some of the ways I sharpen some of my knives. But that's it, guys. That's it. I'll get out of here, and if you like what I've been doing lately, go ahead and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Give me thumbs up, you know. All right, guys, we will see ya.